Hey guys, Brett Trembly here with the Trembly Law Firm, and today we're talking about the PPP loans, but specifically loan forgiveness and how you can maximize the amount of the loan that is forgiven, meaning you don't have to pay it back. We're not going to make this a super long video just for some sort of guideline or some other purposes. We're going to keep it nice and short and leave out some of the nuances because they can get a little bit tricky. So if you want the full picture, we have a link to our website and it includes a blog on maximizing PPP loan forgiveness. The link's right down there. Just go ahead and click on it and that'll take you through some scenarios and through some examples and answer the rest of your questions. This video today, we're just going to discuss high level and teach you the main things you need to know. So the first main thing you need to know is that you have 8 weeks in which to spend the loan money. So if you got your PPP loan on May 1st, then you have 8 weeks starting on May 1st, which would run you through the end of June, and you need to spend all of the money in that time period. The second main thing you need to know is that you have only 4 areas in which you can spend the money. The first is payroll, the second is rent, the third is utilities, and the fourth is mortgage interest. Now, what you really need to know about this part is that 75% or more needs to be spent on payroll costs, and the other 25% or up to 25% can be spent on the other 3 categories. I tell people, don't even play this one super close. Just spend about 80% of the PPP loans on payroll and the rest on rent and utilities, and you should be fine. Now, the third thing you need to know about loan forgiveness is that there is a calculation for full-time employees, or FTEs. So if you're seeing that FTE everywhere and you're not sure what it means, it's full-time employees. And here's how it works. If you had, there's 2 actually ways you can do the calculation. If you had, let's say, 10 full-time employees between January 1st and February 29th of 2020, then by June 30th, you need to have 10 employees, full-time employees on your payroll. So there is a grace period there. If you have already furloughed some people or unfortunately had to lay off a few of your employees, make sure you add them back to payroll by June 30th if you can, and that's the way that you will maximize your loan forgiveness. The other calculation you can do is the amount of employees. I know it's confusing, but it's from February 15, 2019 through June 30th, 2019 for the amount of employees to start as a base calculation. Again, it gets confusing. We have more on the blog, but just let's say you have 10 employees before you started this thing. You need to finish with 10 employees. And if you don't, let's say you had to lay off a few people and you only have 8, well, then you're going to get knocked down by 20% in the amount of loan forgiveness. So that's why this money was given to small business owners to pass on to the employees. And the way they made sure that happened is that they don't want employers to take the money and then fire everyone and use it for whatever they want. So pass this money on to your employees, at least 75%. And that does include reduction in salary. So if you keep everyone, all of your employees, but you reduce their salaries by more than 75%, you can also get penalized. So if you do have to make cuts, make sure that you take anyone making $100,000 or less and you don't reduce their pay by more than 25%, and that's how you're going to maximize the amount of loan forgiveness. So there you have it, straightforward. We're just giving you the facts. You can spend your money on payroll, at least 75%, and the rest can be spent on utilities, interest, and rent. You have 8 weeks in which to spend the money from the day that you got the funding in your bank account, and you also need to make sure you have the same amount of full-time employees by June 30th back on payroll that you had before you took the loan amount, depending on the calculation that you want to use. One last little pro tip that we want to include is having the right documentation for when you apply for the forgiveness is really important. And the best way to do that is to put the entire amount of the loan in a separate bank account and have your payroll and your rent and pay for your utilities straight out of that bank account. It makes the accounting a lot easier and it's gonna make funding a lot easier. And another little pro tip here is with your bookkeeper, you should be calculating and keeping track of all the expenses that you have occurred because of the coronavirus. And that leads into some other things like business interruption policies. But if you have really good records, it's only gonna help you in the end. So there you have it. Hopefully this video has been helpful. We kept it as short as we could. Again, if you want more information on some of the nuances, you can click on the link below in the description, and that will take you to our blog article where we included some examples. You can always reach out to us, tremblylaw.com. Our team is standing by and waiting to help you. We've been helping countless business owners through the funding and other issues with PPP, with the CARES Act, and with furloughs and layoffs and all the plethora of different items that business owners are having to navigate right now. We know it's a lot and you're overwhelmed. We all are, but we're all in this together and we're here to help. Thank you for watching.